Back with part 5 of the AR670-1 color wheel talk. Alright, so now that I've gone over like the nude natural shade portion of the reg, talk with you guys, giving you some examples, some do's and don'ts, I'm going to move on to the American manicure portion of the reg. Okay, if you've never heard of American manicure, you don't know what it is, this is what American manicure looks like. It is a dull version of the French manicure, or the French tips, whatever you call it. French tips have that bright white color at the end of your fingernails. A lot of women get that. Even if they're not in the Army, it's just something that is very common and matches a lot of things. Because the Army has decided that white falls under the extreme colors category, white is not technically authorized with this kind of manicure either, which is why they didn't authorize French manicure. They authorized American manicure. Now here's the difference. As you can see in the photo, the tips on this woman's fingers are not bright white whatsoever. They are much more pale. They're not vibrant. They're not bright. That's the idea behind having the American manicure in the Army. It doesn't pop right out at you. They feel like, I guess, the American manicure is less distracting from the uniform. This has been a big problem since the reg got updated. I see a lot of women who walk around with noticeable French tips. French tips, that's not the right answer. Okay, if you go off and you get French tips, don't be surprised if somebody's like, hey, that's a French tip, or hey, that's a French manicure, that's not American. If women in the Army know the difference, or even men. The commander will tell you the same thing. If they decide, hey, let's ask the commander will tell you the difference in the two. Lots of women have bent this reg since it came out regarding this one, and that's just one thing I'm here to tell you. If you decide that you want to go with the American manicure, you have to ensure that the tips are not those bright white tips that you see on normal French manicures. You have to have that dull, creamy, colored, or even dull white tips. Okay, they can't be that bright stuff. This is another example of the American manicure and how it differentiates itself from the French manicure. The tips are not as bright, they're not as flashy. That's the whole idea of authorizing this one instead of the other one. Okay, moving on to the light pink portion. I swear by this shade. Back when this reg first came out, this was like the only color I would get just because I could, and I'm a fan of pink myself. This shade is called Bubble Bath, okay? Almost every nail shop you go into, no matter where you are, knows what Bubble Bath is. It's like the most, what's the right word? Common, classy, nicest pink that nail shops carry that most women want so bad. Go to part 6.